Hello and welcome to this installation video of the EK3 rail onto an ICS L85 rifle. Before we start the installation process, I'd just like to say thank you so much for buying the EK3 Conversion Kit. And if you have any issues at all with either the installation process or the kit itself, please do not hesitate to contact either myself, the English Kiwi, or Super5s, and we'll endeavour to fix your issues as quickly as possible. Now, on to the install. Quick caveat, I'm using my ICS L86 as a stand-in for a ICS L85, however the installation process should be exactly the same. So let's take a look at the kit itself. Here we have the EK3 box, and in the box you shall receive one rail. This is the tan version. One sight rail with 3 holes, as this sight rail is designed to fit either the ICS or the WE. One mounting block. 2 sets of screws to attach the new sight rail. And one cross bolt set up for attaching the rail to the mounting block. Now, the tools I recommend for this installation, I use a multi-tool set, but specifically you will need a crosshead and a set of Allen keys for this install. You also need a punch set, which will be linked in the description below. I don't happen to have one here, that's okay, I've already punched out my pins, and I will be using an Allen key as a stand-in for a punch. Also, some electrical tape is really useful for attaching parts you've taken off the rifle and keeping them safe. And with that, let's get on with the install process. So I'm going to start from the point where you have taken your handguard off your rifle. We're going to need to punch out 2 pins from your gas block. Mine are already gone. I'm using 2 screws here just to hold the gas block roughly in place. Now, you can, if you want, do it while the barrel is installed in the rifle. However, I recommend taking the barrel out, so let's do that now. So, we're just going to take the rifle apart. There goes the forward body pin. My retaining latch is gone. Putting it there for safekeeping. And taking your rear body pin out. Take your butt pad off. Disconnect your motor wires. Your lower receiver away. Put your lower receiver to one side. Remove your gearbox. Put that safely to one side. Just drop that back in there. And take out your hop up and barrel assembly. And again put that to one side. Now remember, there is also a spring in here. I believe mine is wedged in place, but yours may fall out, so remember to grab that as well. So to remove your barrel, we're going to need to take this plate off, which we're going to need to take out anyway as part of the installation process for the EK3. So this comes out with just 2, I think, Phillips head cross bolts. So one either side of this block. Now, put these screws in a safe place because you will need them in a minute. This front piece will come off and away, and you can put that in a safe place for later. You then need to loosen these 2 screws slightly so this plate is able to move, and your barrel should then be able to be pulled out. It's at this point you can take your barrel away to wherever you need to, and with the hole punch set linked below, you're going to need to just tap out the 2 roll pins that are held in place here, and once they are out, you'll want to keep them safe as well in case you ever want to reinstall your gas block, and your gas block can just slide off the back of your barrel. Again, we're going to put that somewhere safe. Finally, to get ready for the EK3 system, we're going to need to take our original sight rail off, or if you have it, the modified Picatinny rail. And again, it's just 2 screws. There's one. And there's two. Now, as I was saying earlier, if you do want to convert this back to an A2 at any point, you're going to need this rail. So to keep it safe, I like to get a bit of electrical tape, put the two screws in the rail, and then tape them in place in the rail. So with all those bits removed, we are now ready to install all the EK3 parts. We'll start with the sight rail. So with the lug facing the front of the receiver, line up the holes. Get your two rail mount screws. And then loosely screw the rear one in a bit. And then line up and screw in the front sight rail screw. And then finally you can tighten both of these up, ensuring that the rail is sitting flush with the front of the receiver. We're now ready to install the barrel back into the rifle. So take your mount block and slide it onto your barrel. Ensure that your two roll pin cutouts are facing the 6 o'clock position or down, so that they all face up when the receiver is together. Ensure that your wires are in their wire channel, and then install your barrel until you feel it go into place. Then you can run your mount block back and install it into position and give your barrel a firm push to make sure it is correctly seated. You can then get your two screws from earlier that were originally on the rear of the handguard plate there and reinstall them into the same positions. And then you can tighten down the two screws on this plate to make sure the barrel is properly locked into the rifle. At this point, the rifle is ready to be reassembled, so let's do that. So now the rifle is back together, we can put the rail on and it will be finished. I recommend when reinstalling it to run your wires down into the bottom part of the rail, as there is more space for a battery. And then finally we can get cross pin. Now the cross pin comes with a washer and a spring washer. I recommend putting the washer on the receiver side and the spring washer on the screw side. It can go in and be tightened down. And this can be tightened all the way down with an Allen key, which I happen to have here. And with that, your EK3 system is now fully installed on your ICS L85 or L86. If you have any problems at all with either the kit or the installation process, please don't hesitate to reach out to either myself, the English Kiwi, or Super 5s, and we'll endeavour to sort out your issues as quickly as possible.